Hello everyone, it's Pastor Scott and Tyler here on Friday, March 20, I think it's the 26th, 27th. Oh, thank you. Christy's my videographer for today. This will be the last video in our series for this week. We'll see what's going on next week, see what we can have for you going there. A lot of you, I think, just watch these videos to see if Tyler will be in them, so there you go. Throwing you a little bit of joy as we enter into the weekend. I wanted to do this little video based on a verse of scripture from Hebrews 10, verse 23, and it reads this. This is Hebrews 10, so Hebrews is in the right-hand side of the Bible. Hebrews 10, 23, and it says this. Let us hold fast to the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who has promised is faithful. So I'll read that again. Hebrews 10, 23. Let us hold fast to the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who has promised is faithful. To put it kind of shortly, hold fast hope. So in our house, Christy has a number of flowers that she's watching outside and on our deck, but the ones that I find most charming, or the ones that bring me the most joy, are these little seedlings that she has planted. I call these the Garden of Resistance. So we have some marigold, some cosmos, I don't even know what that is, bachelor's button, don't know what that is, zinnia, don't know what that is. Anyway, I don't know what a lot of these are, but anyway, I'm not a flower person. But the reason I like these is every morning Christy wakes up and she comes down and she sees what has grown since the last day. And it just looks so funny to me in this little egg cart, these little seedlings that are slowly starting to take shape. And I call it the Garden of Resistance because it's almost like Christy's way of sticking it to the coronavirus. You know, like, you will not defeat us. Hope will go on. To echo that verse in Hebrews 10, hold fast hope. So even in these times, we're still planting flowers. We're still expecting God to continue to move throughout all of these. And so every single day, we get this little reminder, right? Like, life is still going to happen no matter what. So as we enter into this weekend, I felt myself today on this Friday going a little bit crazy. You know, after a week of working mostly from a computer, you start to go a little bit nuts. At least I do. But what this reminded me of is that despite how long this is, despite how much patience we need during this, despite how difficult this is, that there is still hope. And I do want to be real about the difficulties. I mean, we have somebody in the hospital on one side of the churches, and we can't go in and visit them. You know what I mean? Like, that's so difficult. There's another couple that I know who were planning on getting married. There's these two people who live in separate nursing homes, and they contacted me and they wanted to get married, but now that's all been put aside. They can't even physically see each other because both of those homes have been locked down. Like, these are incredibly difficult times. And yet, what I'm reminded of from the Garden of Resistance is that this will pass, that life will come from even this, and that God will not stop moving with us throughout all of this. So as we enter into the weekend, I wonder what kind of things you can start doing now that will be kind of your resistance to all that's going on. Maybe you start planting a few seedlings. Maybe you start planning for a project that is to come. Maybe you start planning something out in the fall that you want to do, right? Like, planning today some kind of encouragement for down the road. Because as this verse in Hebrews said, we are to hold fast hope. We are to trust that the one who has given us this promise of everlasting life that starts here and now is faithful. So as we enter into our weekend, we just wish you a really blessed time. We won't be coming together physically in worship, but if you're interested, I have been posting our worship online. I have a little bit of help from my worship assistant here. So if you're interested in that, please just email me at pastorscottlawrence@gmail.com. That's pastorscottlawrence@gmail.com, and I can add you into our email list, and you can get the videos that way. So just a blessing as we enter into this weekend, and just a thought for you. What might you start doing today that will be, in a sense, your garden of resistance? What kind of marigolds, cosmoses, bachelor's buttons, nasturtiums will you start planting today that you will trust will be coming tomorrow? And I think that's a good place to stop. So happy weekend, and we'll probably have some more videos next week as well. So blessings to you all.